Another day in the life, man. How you doing, Stro?
We're still kicking. We're still generating art, keeping the dream alive.
It's cool. So I've been playing a video game, right? And in
Hmm.
this video game, there's heavy customization options, and within those customization options, I mean they're really deep, right?
Hmm.
So I attempted to make like some tattoo designs. So if you go to my Midjourney profile, you go check out my Midjourney profile, you'll go see that I made a set of like tattoos, and so I was trying to do specific things and things like that. And a friend of mine, shout out to good old Geo.
Go.
We had a now he is a fantastic artist like yourself, and we had a really
Oh, thank.
interesting conversation. And he we didn't get into a disagreement or a debate or an argument or anything like that about AI art and its implications,
Just a good wholesome discussion.
because there was one thing that we both agreed on and proved it in that moment, that no matter what, no matter how descriptive you are, the AI is not perfect.
Oh no,
It's never perfect. And
it's
so
very infantile
and
still.
so I made these tattoos and I wanted specific things. I wanted them to be specific things. They didn't come out the way that I wanted them to. And
Mm.
I layered them, GPT, all that stuff, right? And
Hmm.
it literally came to a point where we got into the conversation like it's not perfect, it doesn't work, so the whole fight with the artist, the big thing is the copyright. The AI art is not, at the end of the day, we've said this, it's not original.
No.
It's not original styles. It's not, you type up the renders form and things like that. Yeah, you use your imagination,
Right.
but it's not your work. You have to always credit the original source of where it came from. I don't think that's asking too
It's
much.
almost like a backwards thing. It's like after you've looked at a painting and like if you ever were in an art class in school and they went to a museum or something, they'd always ask you afterwards, like, what were your thoughts? What do you think this painting meant? We're kind of doing that, but backwards. We're saying what the painting means, and then the painting's being generated, not the picture's already generated. Now we're putting words to it. We're putting words to something there yet,
Yeah,
but the picture's
exactly.
there. It's weird. It's ass backwards, kind of.
Yeah, and I've just been really thinking about it because, like, it is true. Like, yeah, you can get some really great designs, but it's not
Hmm.
perfect. Will it ever be perfect? Who knows?
Now, with the other uh, AI apps that are out there with art, you can kind of get more of an exact. 'Cause I've seen people do some pretty exacting work, but I don't exactly like that, and that's probably why I never branched off from anything other than MJ. It was because it's not exact. I kind of like uh, the probability of error, and
Yeah,
and I don't mean error in a bad way. It's usually it's a cool thing. That's like, oh, I never would have thought of it that way, or you know.
yeah. In that now, I do have some AI news for you.
Okay.
So, Paul McCartney, during an interview with BBC Radio, Paul McCartney was asked about how AI has been used to replicate his young voice and even bring back voices from the grave by mimicking the late John Lennon and George Harrison. Um, he says it's very interesting. It's something we're all sort of tackling at the moment in terms of trying to deal with what's it mean. He admitted he's not on the internet much, but he has heard of AI produced tracks that use the former band members' voices. I would actually like to do another music episode soon, and
Very.
yeah, we could kind of just like throw it out of the themes that we have already here, with some of the lists that we have, like we just talked about before the show, that we are gonna kind of change it up a little bit and kind of randomize our shows instead of going by the list that we had.
Hmm.
But one of these things is like talking about AI music and the rise of what it can do, and we have a new Beatles song coming out this year.
Yeah, because when we were talking about it, I remember I just heard something about that, but I didn't know it was going to be like an AI generated or inspired piece. So that'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, it's very it's AI generated.
Hmm. Well, wake me up before you go go.
Yeah. It's also said here in the article that in the 2021 documentary, The Beatles Get Back, which is a great documentary if you haven't seen it. It's on Disney Plus. It's about 6 hours long, and it's not like your typical documentary. Like you go in and they
Is
start
this the White
asking.
Album?
No, this was when they did Let It Be.
Let it be. Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
have seen that one.
Yeah,
Yep,
so
that's good.
that documentary is really good. It's not like your typical documentary. It's not like, oh, here's footage and here's an interview. No, it's all footage.
They showed the mud and the clean stuff.
Yeah.
The process. Yeah, that's what I
But
liked about it.
a sound engineer used the Get Back documentary. He used AI to extract the vocals from the background music, and we had John's voice and a piano, and he could separate them with AI. They tell the machine that's the voice, this is the guitar, lose the guitar. When we came to make
Isolate it.
what will be the last Beatles record, it was a demo that John Lennon had that was worked on, and we finished it up, and it'll be released this year. We were able to take John's voice and get it pure through this AI so that we could mix the record as you would normally do. So there's a good side to it, and then there's a scary side, and we'll just have to see where that leads. Paul McCartney says.
Just flip a coin. We'll see where John lands.
Yeah, I mean, it's even look, M Shadows from Avenged Sevenfold has even talked about wanting to donate his voice for more research to implement more AI in music.
It's got me thinking all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Bradley Noel from Sublime.
Listen, I think it's a great way. I think it's awesome. I think this gives an opportunity for people who don't have the band. They could create something and then grow a band from that. You know, there's good implications from it.
Kind of see where this might go down the road in the future, where there's just going to be a whole nother catalog of you pick a band and you can, yes, you'll have the original works that they made, and then you're going to have AI created ones, like whole albums of just AI inspired, what sounds like them, you know, instrument wise and vocal wise, but it's not going to be them, but it's going to be there, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be a hot commodity down the road.
Yeah.
Just they're going to want to see what it can do, you know?
They're going to test it. And again, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. Nope. Today we are talking about oceans. We're talking about oceans. We're talking about oceans today. And I have to say, I had a lot of fun with this one. I was kind of stuck because I didn't want to just have generic images of the ocean. Mm-hmm. You know, you had a little fun with yours. I had a little fun with mine. You know, the ocean is your best friend and your worst enemy at the same time. It could suck you up and eat you dry, and
you must respect her.
Yeah, and there's so many secrets that have not even been found in the ocean. And today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some of the secrets in the ocean, what makes the ocean beautiful. You know, do you have any experiences in like the deep ocean?
I had never been to an ocean till I joined the Army, and when I went to South Korea, that's when I got to experience the ocean for the first time.
And how was that?
Interesting. Just the feeling of salt water. Like if you have cuts on your legs, you'll notice that right away.
Yeah.
I don't remember experiencing that. I had fun with it actually. I'm used to Lake Michigan, kind of our version of lake water, which isn't the greatest. At least where I'm at. You go farther north and it gets a lot prettier and stuff and cleaner. But I liked it.
Yeah, I don't
love to go again.
Yeah, you know,
I always wanted to be a surfer.
Yeah, you know, I'm a city slicker, so I've never really been in the ocean unless I've been on top of it in the plane. You know, being the kid in Puerto Rico, you know, going to the beaches of Destin, Florida with my family, that's really the best ocean experience I've ever had in my life. Never really been deeper than... Yeah, I haven't been. I've never been far enough that you couldn't see land. Yeah, you know.
Me too. Yeah.
And it's so interesting too because there's even like parts of the ocean that like you could walk on. You know, like you walk on it and it's like only waist deep and you're like in the middle of nowhere.
Natural bars.
Yeah,
Sandbars, yeah.
atolls and things like that. Really interesting
Yep.
stuff that the ocean has. I mean, so many sunk ships. There's the Bermuda Triangle, which I didn't even think about that. Like doing something about the Bermuda Triangle too. But
Throw that on the list. We forget.
yeah, you know what?
That.
We are going to start randomizing stuff. Let's get on with it, man. Let's start off. I started off with you today. Talk to me about what you got.
Descriptionary up here. Where am I at? Archive. So I believe this was the first one I started with.
Okay.
To get my juices going. It was a pretty simple command. I used an oceanic landscape with all sea creatures known to man. I don't think I got all of them, but I got some interesting. This reminds me of something. Maybe there's a guy that wrote a slew of books. Manly P. Hall. Actually, I think they use his books in a lot of school stuff.
Okay.
But he did Secrets Throughout the Ages. That's a pretty well-known book, and this kind of reminds me of the art style and some of the pictures that were in that. Sort of a Renaissance-y look to it.
Kind of like it reminds me of like a photo you would see like in a Bible that they would make for kids. Mm-hmm. Like here's an image of the ocean.
Here's the ocean's sea creatures.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very beautiful. A lot of animals here. I see a couple whales. Interestingly enough, I don't really see any like squids or octopuses or anything like that, you know. But I love what I love is like this canyon type area here. It's very beautiful.
Looks like the Great Deluge.
The Great Deluge. I love it. It's actually a song by Thrice. Yeah. I'll go into the next one.
Why does that sound familiar? I know of Thrice because you've told me of them, but that song sounds familiar.
They have a whole album that's dedicated to the ocean water.
Okay. Maybe I'll keep checking. I always forget. You tell me about Thrice and I never look it up. So I'm going to put it down on my list. Okay.
No, yeah. So this one, I wanted to... So I wrote a very long one for this one. It was retrofuturist style of the boundless beauty of the ocean while sitting inside of a lounge. You know, like you have like this how do you say? I don't want to say like apartment. More like kind of like what a porch would be. But if the porch was like
a veranda,
underwater, yeah, because they have like these hotels where they're like underwater and things like that. So
yeah,
I kind of
restaurants. Yeah,
I wanted to portray that, but I wanted them to see like the beauty of like above the ocean floor and under it, so that they could see.
There better be some damn good glass,
you know. Yeah, I just wanted the symbolization of beauty and vitality of marine life, thriving. Like undisturbed in their ocean home, but with
the balance of it.
Yeah, the balance of it. And
I like the balance because you can see the above and below the ocean. I like that. That represents well. Dig it. That's another t-shirt quality picture right there. I like that one.
Yeah, I really love this one. The next one is... This one's yours.
Shark Attack Week. That was something I never got into. You ever do like the Shark Week stuff? The Shark Month?
Oh, all the time.
TV or whatever it was.
All the time. And they're always like adding like new actors, like two like new big name actors onto it every single year. It's like it kind of reminds me of like WrestleMania is like Shark Week is like WrestleMania for like marine biologists, and it's like they show all like the shark movies, like Jaws. Obviously, Jaws is the best shark movie of all time. Now, huh? Yeah, so I think like the last one they had like Jason Momoa or something like that, like hosting Shark Week, and like they have like shark competitions and oh man,
wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So yeah, I was thinking about like a sunken treasure thing, and then I was throwing in animals. I wanted to see like a sunken treasure which was protected by sharks or killer whales.
Yeah.
And every time I tried to do a picture, no killer whales, just sharks. So I guess it decided that treasure should be protected by sharks at all times, not killer whales. And
can you imagine how
what's
much
that?
treasure, like how much treasure there's still like left unfound in the ocean?
It's yeah, you use your imagination on how much is out there, and it's probably not even. It's probably triple times that much.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Just with modern wrecks and stuff, you're not even counting all the ancient ones that are still they're still finding, like Egypt stuff and Roman. They even be finding a lot more of that nowadays.
Interesting. Are we going on to the next one?
Yeah. I was thinking there was another point I wanted to make, but I think that's it.
But did you lose the point?
No. Did I lose the point? No, I didn't. No, I was just thinking there was something else to it, but there wasn't. We're good.
All right, so this one I think you're gonna like a lot. So I was actually listening to this song by a band called Silent Planet. They are a philosophical, yeah, and if you probably picked up here because Silent Planet is a book. I think I'm pretty sure it's a book from
Silent Planet.
It's a fictional novel by C.S. Lewis called Out of the Silent Planet. Now the band themselves,
really,
so the band themselves, I don't ever expect you to listen to this type of music, Strobridge, but the lyrics that the vocalist writes are very interesting.
It's beyond a 6th grade level. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So they have a song called Panopticon. So the lyrics say, safe in your silicone shell, a cell in a server, silent observer, staring at solitude eyes, green and unblinking, the thought before thinking, Panopticon. And if you don't know what a Panopticon is, I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you right now. If I have to look for my notes. I have my notes somewhere here.
Okay. And what was the band name again? Sorry.
Silent Planet.
Silent Planet. Okay. I don't know. That sounds like it might be down my alley.
Yeah, it's super heavy metal, so be prepared. A panopticon is a type of architectural and social concept developed by philosopher and social theorist Jeremie Bentham in the 18th century. It's a circular prison design in which a central observer tower, usually located in the middle, allows a single observer to monitor all the inmates in individual cells around the tower. The unique aspect of the panopticon is that the inmates are aware that they could be under constant surveillance at any time, but they cannot see if they are actually being watched, creating a sense of uncertainty and self-regulation. And
this is all watched by one person, like one warden. No.
If they choose to be. But the panopticon design aims to establish a system of discipline and control through the perception of constant observation, even if it's not always the case. But the concept extends beyond physical prisons and has been applied to various social and institutional settings, symbolizing the pervasive surveillance and power dynamics with modern societies. The panopticon has been widely discussed in fields such as sociology, philosophy, and criminology, as it raises questions about power, authority, individual autonomy, and the impact of surveillance on behavior and social dynamics. It serves as a metaphor for structures of control and tension between freedom and conformity in society.
I'm wondering if I'm thinking of the right thing, but I wonder if it has any ties or philosophy surrounded with Stockholm syndrome, if that's the right one I'm thinking of. Where people went to the university and they posed as either prisoners or jailers. They were real people. They weren't actually jailers or prisoners. They just pretended they were. And
Mm.
they see where the power structure went. I think that was Stockholm. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah. I know one thing's for sure that I wanted to portray because we are talking about oceans here. I wanted this
Hmm.
panopticon to be in the middle of the ocean to symbolize that that's it. This isn't the Rock. You can't
You ain't
swim to the bay.
escaping.
Yeah, you can't swim through the bay and think you're gonna make it. Like, no, this is a serious prison right here. And
You'll die of exhaustion.
I came up with several iterations of this piece, but this one came out my favorite simply because of the dome itself.
Hmm.
We have like lighthouse themes to it. I love the style of art that this came into too. Kind of
You
like
said it looked very Da Vinci.
yeah, yeah, it looks very pencily in a way. I love how this came out. I think the panopticon is a very interesting topic. It would be a pretty good TV show too, if you ask me. Panopticon,
Hmm.
you know. Now I got a light bulb.
Yeah, you just gave me one too. I was picturing like some UFE slash prisoner island kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Oh,
We both go at the same time.
talk to me about this cute little thing you got here.
Yeah, I had to have one cute animal in this whole thing here, so I wanted to look up some actual fish names, and I came up with one called the Mandarin Dragonet,
Oh,
and this is pretty close to what they actually look like. I was impressed with that.
really? So
And,
it looks like it's
yeah,
like a frog's face.
and for some reason my page froze up for me to get my description out. But that's what they're called. They're called dragonets. Yeah.
Mandarin dragonets. So are they like a
Yeah.
reptile or?
No, they're like a. I think they're kind of cousins to angelfish. That's what I was looking at the description when I was looking up fish and stuff. There we go. Yeah, I had Mandarin dragonets with mass schools, oceanic landscapes, with a Nokia 35 underwater lens, appropriate exposure while underwater.
Oh, interesting. You said a Nokia underwater lens.
Yep.
Very interesting. This came out really nice. It looks like a new. It looks like some type of alien species that you would find on another planet.
I want to say they're about the size of a guppy. They're not, bigger than your hand.
Yeah.
They just look big because they're like right up in the lens.
Hmm.
Kind of got like a tigerish kind of print to them.
Yeah,
too. I like that. I see where you're saying kind of looks like a frog. It does have like the frog,
But
the
with like a
classic
beak,
frog.
with like a beak
Yep.
kind of.
Yeah, the beak comes out more.
Hmm.
That's probably my
Nice.
best picture, I think. Most realistic.
Ah, the Guardians of the Ocean. So I wanted like I wanted a comic book style illustration that portrays a group of team called the Guardians of the Ocean, a team of fearless heroes dedicated to protecting and preserving the vast open waters. In this action-packed scene set against a backdrop of crashing waves and dramatic sky, the Guardians of the Ocean take center stage. Each hero should have a unique appearance and powers that reflect their connection to the ocean realm, but the leader of the group, a formidable figure, stands tall and proud, donned in an aquatic-themed suit that exudes authority and strength, wielding a trident based weapon. Their commanding presence serves a symbol of leadership and protection, but the other members of the team are depicted in dynamic poses showcasing their individual abilities. One hero might manipulate water with graceful gestures, forming powerful water constructs or creating shields to defend against threats. Another hero might possess the ability to communicate with marine life, summoning schools of fish or mighty sea creatures to aid in their mission. The remaining heroes could have powers related to weather control, underwater navigation, or the ability to purify polluted waters.
It's been a long time since we've had an original cartoon idea. I'd say 90s, and you might have just created one because I I didn't get a sense that you were stealing from anything, or the AI for that
Yeah,
matter.
yeah.
Might be an original concept.
I was very intricate with the Guardians of the Ocean. I the ocean is important. You know, we have global warming happening. We have sea levels rising. You know, what's to say what's going to happen in the next 30 to 100 years, right? So I think it's important that we're in a time right now where comic books are coming back, and if we were to make, you know, characters that could relate in a grounded way to how the Earth was feeling towards us, I think this would be the perfect way to do it.
Now, did you have a specific number of people in there? I can't see all of them. It looks like you might have seven.
I didn't put a specific number.
Okay.
I just wanted to have a group of individuals. If there's seven, that's a perfect number, to be honest with you. You know, but
One for each continent.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I love.
That was
this
another
one.
one I said I'd love a T-shirt for.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind making a T-shirt for that either. I love this one. Talk to me about it.
And will be my last picture. And I didn't mean to bring you all down, but I thought we should kind of inform you.
The Guardians of the Ocean kind of brings some sense to it.
It ties
too,
right with it.
You know,
Yep,
so
yep. I like that. I like that segue. I wanted to do a picture of Garbage Island. I've heard about it. I've seen news newsreels for it, and when we started doing ocean stuff, I was like, yeah, this should be on there too, because this is something everybody should be aware of. This is something that actually exists out there in the
it's
middle
a
of the
real
ocean.
thing, and it doesn't look that far off from the imagination either. Like it looks spot on. Even the little the boats that are there.
This is small compared to what it really is. This might be an island. It's not. I don't even think you could even call it an island anymore, because it's huge. It's almost it's a good size.
You talk about the
barge.
Now you're taking influence from the Great Pacific garbage patch, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. It's horrible.
Yep. Yeah, there you go, people.
So there's
what
actually
a wonderful world.
So within the garbage patch, there's actually three patches. There's the Eastern Garbage Patch, or the North Pacific Subtropical High, the Subtropical Convergence Zone, and the Western Garbage Patch. And that's a lot of garbage to have in our ocean.
When you say there's regions of garbage that have their own temperatures and climate, that's something to be said right there. That's pretty sad. Disgusting.
I mean, they have their own, it is very sad, because we're all guilty of it, me and you.
Yeah.
You know, we're guilty of it. You know, exactly. But are we at a point in our lives that we can't stop it?
No, we can always. It's never too late. They've done some good things. I mean, there's still some stuff we need to work on. The big culprit's plastics. You know, that's gotten into the water now, and it's in a lot of the biological life out there. Your fish are coming in and they're gutting them, and they're finding all this plastic in their stomachs. And God, I remember back in the 80s when I was starting to hear about animals, specifically turtles and dolphins, getting stuck in six-pack plastic, containers. That was the big thing, and they got rid of that. So I mean, it's small steps, unfortunately, but just think of how bigger it would be, like, if we didn't regulate some of that stuff. The EPA's doing what it can.
Yeah, it's very sad. But to bring the mood up,
yes, let's bring it back up.
You're gonna love this one. I brought back the old style of found footage.
Awesome.
And I wanted to portray this being found footage of a spaceship. Yep, I wanted found footage of a diver finding an unknown space vessel that's been sitting crashed in the ocean for at least 90 years. I wanted a rustic look to it. I wanted to try to portray that there was still some electricity working inside of it. I wasn't getting that, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. That's okay, because the AI is not perfect. We're not asking it to be perfect. And I had to bring back the found footage style.
There's been a lot of disclosure with that stuff lately. So, we make these pictures up, but any day now, these could be an actual reality. So just be
Yeah.
prepared for that. It's coming out.
I mean, look, there's been a lot of answers. There's been a lot of stuff that people have been talking about, right? And a lot of this stuff it's. I mean, are you really surprised?
No, because I've. It starts when you're a kid with your bedtime stories. Some of that, it's like, oh, did that actually happen? No, and then you
Yeah.
find out some of it's true, and that's where it builds up.
And I
Starts
love
from
the
childhood.
and I love the mystery of this render too. I love the mystery
Hmm.
of it because you see the bottom. There's more to this. This isn't the whole ship, and I think that's what builds the mystery upon this. So
That could be the reserve ship, or what do you want to call it? The pod,
yeah,
the jettison. Yeah, I
yeah,
like
that's
that.
true. Captain's quarters, whatever it can be,
Yep,
and
there you go.
it. This was actually kind of important. This episode was actually more important than we probably think, because we wanted to have fun
Hmm.
with it, but there's also a big meaning behind all these things. I mean, it's actually interesting. Oh, well, it's funny. You have an ocean photo behind you too. That's I didn't notice that whole time, and it's important to recognize what we are doing to our planet, and the biggest piece about that planet is our ocean. And so
Mhm.
just
It's
listen,
uncanny because what the planet is, what, 70% water?
something
Is
like
that right?
that.
70
And
or
and
80?
and look, I'm
And
not
then
I'm
we are the
not
same.
and look, we're not Greenpeace, all right? We get it. We're not
Uh,
Greenpeace. We're not here to tell you what to do, but just be mindful of the place that you live in, because you only got so
Mindful
much.
of your consumption.
Because when you're gone, your kids are going to be here. Their kids are going to be here. These are generations that you are building. So
Hey, don't poison them before they're even here.
yeah. So guys, make sure you check us out next week. Do you want to scramble it up? Let's scramble it up. I'm gonna give you
Let's just take that water paper and crinkle it up,
I'm gonna
and
give
then
you
whatever you.
four. I'm gonna give you four choices. All right.
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna
have
give
me
you
pick
four
numbers,
choices.
or you're just gonna pick out them. Okay.
Star maps, lyrics, um, symmetry, or sound wave art.
For our next one,
Yeah,
either sound wave art, or what was the first one you said?
lyrics.
Sound wave art or lyrics? I'll let you go from there. I narrowed it down to two.
Let's do lyrics, man.
Lyrics?
Let's
Okay.
do lyrics. I think, and this is gonna be real fun, because I mean I already know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just put lyrics in it. Um, let's do six. Let's do six for next episode.
Yeah, because I think there'll be a smaller version so we can put more in.
Yeah,
Hmm.
we'll do six of each for the next episode. Join us for lyrics for next week, and then we will take it from there. The last couple episodes have been really fun to do. Our last episode that we did, sports, was a hit. A lot of people seem to have liked it. We want to hear from you guys, what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see. We will even do a random one if you guys tell us which one, what
Yeah.
kind of theme you would like to see from us. So you got anything to close it off, Strobridge?
Nope. Just be wise. Treat the planet good, and we will see you next week.
Yes, sir. And don't abuse AI.
Yeah.